Kicking ass and taking yo bitches. So why don't you go grab yourself a Slurpee, because this is going to take a while. Okay, Melvin? The Bone Metal Zone!
In the studio with me is everyone from the Dublin Death Patrol and practically the entire city of Dublin, I think.
That's right.
In the house.
Dublin Death Patrol playing with Vicious Rumors, Mudface, and Oscar I on June 8th at Fat City here in San Francisco. Also playing June 9th at the Timeout in Concord. Tickets are available at DublinDeathPatrol.com, which is a very efficient website that you have that also sells your album. And can we do like a quick roll call for everybody that doesn't have any idea who is in the Dublin Death Patrol?
Yeah, this is Chuck Billy saying.
Steve Zetro Souza, and I also sing.
Willie Lang.
Steve Rebello, guitar.
Double D Cunningham on drums.
John Hartsick, guitar.
G-Money, guitar.
And Chuck's little brother, KK Billy.
See, just for anybody who didn't believe I had every single one of you in the studio. So it's obviously you guys are all from Dublin. How did the project get to the point where you guys just put out a CD?
Well, I think the idea blossomed when Las Rocca was supporting Testament in Europe a couple years ago. And Chuck and I are hanging out with some kids backstage, and they're like, we need some old school metal. And Chuck and I were kind of talking about it. It's like, well, we wrote songs 20 years ago that could probably stand the test of time. And it kind of started from there. I think the idea did. Didn't you think, Chuck, so?
Well, back then when it was first mentioned, but it was just talk and beers. And then I think once they had this Dublin high school class reunion of 5 classes or so, and when I seen Willie the following week, he'd mentioned they're all talking, seen some people I haven't seen in a while, and they were talking about how well a bunch of musicians did coming out of Dublin, this tiny little town. And the thought right there was like, hey, why don't we all get together and play some music, And we couldn't call it Rampage, which was our original band back in Dublin when we were kids. We decided, let's come up with a good name for the group, and Dublin Death Patrol was right there. And from that day, we started playing, some old songs and some originals. And from that, it blossomed into some new material. And at that point, we're like, you know what? Let's take this one step further and do an album. And here we are, a year later, and a lot of hard work later, and now here it is, DDP for life.
How did everybody find the time? I mean, I know you guys are all still in the area, but you guys also have like other projects, day jobs, other bands, all this stuff. How did you manage to get in the same place at the same time to put a record together?
Well, it was tight. We had this big white chalkboard, and we just penciled in everybody's name, and everybody had a square with the lead or the vocal or the rhythms or whatever. And we just attacked the board and just scheduled it, and Willie came up with a calendar, and this guy's doing Monday, this guy's doing Tuesday, and we just had it all penciled out, total, just for, I don't know, months and months at a time.
Time management. It's all about
time it was.
Management.
And
you got wife and kids and businesses and rock bands. Chuck's still actively touring, and we even got Troy Lucetta from Tesla to come out, and we just flew him in for a day. He knocked out those 2 songs, and we just made good use of our time.
Yeah.
But it was all about love. The brothers, we all love each other, and that's what made it all kind of flow together.
How many songs did you start out with 20 years ago that are still that became songs on the record
5
now?
of them.
Probably 5,
5 of them.
5 or 6 of them, yeah.
The Dublin Death Patrol in the studio with me tonight.
The Bone Metal Zone.